This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876 309 6128. That's 876 309 6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876 586 0471. That's 876 586 0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices. Infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing and nutritious. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sports City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now.
Hi, my name's Lee Williamson. Subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary.
Hi, my name is Joby McAnuff. Subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Everybody doing okay? Well, I hope you all are doing well. I'm Simon Preston, and welcome to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is where you come to for everything Jamaican football related. All is well? Well, looking forward to hearing from you guys. Very much so. And happy to share some information. As you guys know, positivity. This is where you come to for positivity. So looking forward eagerly to be able to converse with you guys and be able to share some very vital information. So to make a long story short, what I'm going to do is put a graphic on your screen and explain exactly what this is in particular. All right, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you look in the chat, Dan B says, yo, Simon. Hey, Dan, how are you doing? What are you talking about, Dan? Look at Arsenal. John Paul says, up, Simon. Hey, how you doing? Kevin Williams says, up, Simon. Siobhan Peart, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well, Siobhan. Dan B says, hope you're a good dough family. Most things under control, man. Good to hear from you. Really good to hear from you. So I'm going to explain what you're seeing on your screen right now. Okay, so as you can see right now, you see Jamaica, right? In League A. And I know we're discussing women's football first. We were raised as gentlemen, so ladies first with things, ladies before gentlemen. That's how it is. And this is in relation to the Gold Cup qualifiers for women, the CONCACAF Gold Cup. And Jamaica will be in League A. That's right, Jamaica will be in League A based on their current seeding and ranking. That's how things are right now in relation to the Gold Cup itself, so that you guys are aware. So if you look at League A right now, the teams in League C will not get a chance to go to the Gold Cup, but they'll at least play some quality football together. So I'm going to do an explanation as it relates to League A for you guys. All right, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to explain this right here. So Jamaica plays Canada in the Olympic qualifiers in September. If Jamaica defeats Canada, then Jamaica will not play in the Gold Cup qualifiers. Jamaica will automatically qualify for the Gold Cup. If Jamaica, though, does not get the better of Canada, Jamaica will go through the Gold Cup qualifiers, and basically they'll be in League A for the Nations League. You could call it the CONCACAF Women's Nations League if you want to call it of that nature, because this is the situation that we're dealing with right now. All right, because if you look at it right now, League A, Jamaica would play you're going to have 3 groups of 3. So Jamaica will play 2 of these teams. One could be Puerto Rico, one could also be as well Haiti, because Jamaica would be in pot 1. And if Jamaica in pot 1, that means they avoid the likes of Costa Rica, Mexico, and that means that they would play one of Guatemala, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and one of Panama, Haiti, Trinidad, and Tobago. And if Jamaica is able to accomplish that and top the group, they'll qualify directly to the Gold Cup, and the second place team will head to the playoffs itself and face a League B team. All right, so hopefully that answers that question in particular. Know yourself. Tennessee Lewis says, good evening. Good evening. How are you? Hope you're doing good, man. How are things? All is well? Good. You know yourself. I want us to beat Canada too. I want us to get to the Olympics. That's the only tournament that Jamaica, have not qualified for it. We've been to an under-17 World Cup, an under-20 World Cup, senior men, senior women. Of course, under-20 women and under-17 women, still something for us to bear in mind. But the Olympic Games is something different that we have to, and we're working on for sure. And when you're bearing in mind as well the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup, the Futsal World Cup, so we'll get there in time. Confident about that for sure. We'll get there. You know what I'm saying? So we'll get there. Yes, big up to everybody within the chat. If you guys haven't already, please hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So let me explain this briefly, because this draw itself is May 17, all right? This draw is May 17. Let me give a few explanations, and then we'll go over to the men. Like I said, ladies first, and then gentlemen, so that you guys are fully aware with everything here. So League A, following the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, where a record 6 CONCACAF teams will participate, the CONCACAF W Gold Cup road will essentially begin. What you'll have is 33 CONCACAF women's teams, excluding the 2 that will compete in the Olympics, be split into 3 leagues according to their CONCACAF Women's Rankings Index as of March 2023. And basically, League A would have either Canada or Jamaica, Costa Rica, Panama, Mexico, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, Guatemala, Puerto Rico, and St. Kitts and Nevis. That would be League A. All right? That's League A of it. League B, yeah, we're talking about El Salvador, Guyana, Dominican Republic, Bermuda, Nicaragua, Antigua and Barbuda, Honduras, Suriname, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Martinique, Barbados, Dominica. League C, USVI, Belize, Curacao, Cayman, Aruba, Grenada, Anguilla, Turks and Caicos Islands, British Virgin Islands, Guadeloupe, Bahamas, and St. Martin. That's League C. After home and away group stage play within each league in the FIFA women's match calendars of September, October, and November, the top finishers in each of League A will qualify for the CONCACAF W Gold Cup group stages. Furthermore, the second place finishers in A and the first place finishers in League B will advance to the 2024 CONCACAF W Gold Cup prelims. So that's basically what will happen. The draw, Wednesday, May 16, and it will take place in Miami, Florida at 6 o'clock Jamaica time. All right, so it'll be 6 o'clock Jamaica time for you guys to be fully aware about. Okay, 6 o'clock Jamaica time, Jamaica in pot 1, which means that they would avoid Costa Rica or Mexico in relation to this passage itself. The draw for each league will begin by randomly selecting a team from pot 1 and placing that nation in Group A of their respective league. The draw will continue by selecting the remaining teams from pot 1 and positioning them in a group in a sequential order. And the same process will be done for the remaining pots as well. At the end of the draw, each group will contain 1 nation from each pot. So hopefully that clarifies things for you guys a little bit more. All right, so this is how things are on the women's side. If Jamaica defeats Canada, Jamaica will not participate in the CONCACAF W Gold Cup qualifiers. Jamaica will qualify directly to the CONCACAF W Gold Cup. All right, Hopefully that is something that you guys are aware. And in relation to the CONCACAF W Gold Cup, the CONCACAF W Gold Cup is February 20 to March 10 next year. Again, that's February 20 to March 10 next year, just so that you guys are aware of everything. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys get the full gist of all of this, you know? So this is key, this is critical, this is important in the grand scheme of things, you know, so that you guys are fully aware of things. And I know there may be some people wondering who are the teams that have qualified so far. Well, of course, the United States for winning the CONCACAF W Championship last year, and the 4 invited teams from CONMEBOL: Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, and Paraguay. So basically, those are 4 invited teams. Essentially, they had to qualify for it because they were the top 4 finishers in the Copa America Femenina last year. So these are the teams that have booked their ticket to the CONCACAF W Gold Cup. And what you find, because it's a 12-team tournament, you can have each group with at least 1 CONMEBOL team. So Jamaica would face at least 1 CONMEBOL team. You understand what I'm saying? So, and there will be a group with 2 CONMEBOL teams as well. And in a sense, it's more preparation when you're bearing in mind the Pan American Games is also later this calendar year as well. Jamaica has, of course, faced South American teams. We know Jamaica's faced Brazil, even from the Pan Am Games in 2007, you know, and of course the World Cup in 2019, Jamaica has faced them as well. Jamaica has faced Uruguay in women's football as well. You know what I'm saying? So Jamaica has been able to get results. I'm speaking specifically in terms of women's football so that you guys are aware of things. So in relation to this in particular and how Jamaica has been able to do, Jamaica has defeated South American teams before. Jamaica has defeated Ecuador. Tashana Vincent was the goal scorer at the Pan Am Games as Jamaica secured a 1-0 victory over Ecuador. Jamaica took on the Brazilians and also secured a draw with Uruguay. In fact, Uruguay scored late on an equalizer. So, and Jamaica had a very good game, and this was in the Estadio Missimo de Silva Stadium, and it was a great experience for the girls to go there, get 4 points in the Pan American Games in a 5-team group. 4 games, 4 points, a win and a draw. Yeah, it was good. It was a great experience for the Jamaicans to be able to come out with a positive result from the tournament itself. So very happy that we're able to beat a South American team and also draw with a South American team as well. So we have that experience tremendously from this standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Good. So we've clarified the draw for the CONCACAF W Gold Cup qualifiers will take place on May 17. The day before is May 16. May 16 is a Tuesday. What happens on May 16, which is going to be a Tuesday? Well, on May 16, what's going to happen is this, quite simply. Basically, you're going to have the draw for, that's right, the 2023-2024 edition of the CONCACAF Nations League. Okay? So that is something that I want you to be aware about. Okay? Yeah. I'll do my research, Timur Peterkin. So here's the situation now in relation to the CONCACAF Nations League itself. Okay? If you look specifically at what you've seen on the screen right now, you see Jamaica in League A, right? Good. Now, in relation to the CONCACAF Nations League, the format for the 2023-2024 cycle has changes. Why does it have changes? It has changes because this Nations League campaign also serves as a qualifier. Yes, that's right. This Nations League in particular also serves as a qualifier for the 2024 Copa America. That's right. So that's the reason why we have some changes in relation to the CONCACAF Nations League for this cycle in particular, where we're having a quarterfinal, a semi-final, third place playoff final, and also a playoff match as well. Jamaica and League A. Jamaica will be in the group stages. We're going to see something that we haven't seen before in the Nations League, and I'm going to explain that right now. So in relation to the Nations League itself, this on your screen is the match schedule. All right, this is the match schedule that you're seeing on your screen. September October, November, right? That's the Nations League for the rest of this calendar year, 2023. So September, 2 matches. October, 2 matches. November, quarterfinals, home and away. And of course, March next year will be semifinals, third place playoff, and final of the Nations League itself. Now, let me show you what the group will look like, because you're going to have 2 groups of 6 teams in each group, okay? 2 groups of 6 teams in each group. Now, if you were to play every team in the group, that would be 5 matches, right? But that's not going to happen. Jamaica will not play every team in their group. You guys follow me so far? Jamaica will not play every team in their group. Jamaica will play 4 matches. It's going to be Swiss style. And let me explain Swiss style. Swiss style, the definition really means it's not home and away, and it's not everybody that you play. So in a group where Jamaica will be part of the 6 teams, Jamaica will play 4 matches, which means that there is 1 opponent that they will not play. In addition to that, the 4 matches that they do play, they will not play those 4 teams in the return leg, whether that might be home in Kingston or away in their backyard. So what does that tell you? Well, that tells you straight up that 4 wins are critical to be able to finish within the top 2 and advance to the quarterfinals. That is going to make the massive difference to ensure that progress is made. Simply put, that is going to be critical from this standpoint. And once that team makes progress, because USA, Mexico, Canada, Costa Rica, they're already in the quarterfinals. Jamaica, whether they are top of the group or runner-up, they would face one of Mexico, USA, Costa Rica, or Canada within the quarterfinals of the competition, home and away. So the home and away comes in for the quarterfinals. For the semifinals, it will be 1 leg. For the semifinal, for the final and the third place playoff, it'll also be 1 leg as well. So I hope that that is something that you guys are fully aware about and can understand. And basically, if you have questions in regards to this matter in particular, do let me know. If you have question marks in relation to the format or some areas that are a bit fuzzy to you and you want a bit of clarity. But you guys remember the CONCACAF Nations League in 2018, right? Where Jamaica took on the Cayman Islands at home, Bonaire away, Suriname at home, and El Salvador away. Remember that Jamaica didn't play those teams in the opposite end. Jamaica didn't play El Salvador at home. Jamaica didn't play Cayman in Cayman. Jamaica didn't play Bonaire at home. Jamaica didn't play Suriname in Suriname. You see what I'm saying? So this means no margin for error. It means going out there, getting the victories that are needed to ensure quarterfinal. And if you win your quarterfinal, importantly, and advance, that means that you qualify for the Copa America. If a team does not win the quarterfinal, they have a second bite of the cherry as they will head through the Copa America qualifying playoffs. So basically the 4 quarterfinal losers, of the 4 quarterfinal losers, 2 will get a ticket to the Copa America, which will be in 2024. Hopefully that narrows things down for you guys and you're fully aware with everything that has just been mentioned a while ago. Yeah. BM, in relation to the format that you're making mention about, I'm processing what you're saying, right? And it could have been many other different angles in terms of a format. And I'm sure your idea was under consideration as well. I don't doubt that at all. I think it's about ensuring that everything falls into place quite naturally. And that is what we're seeing at this point in time. Here's a second thing now. I want us to revisit the match calendar one more time. So, March 2024, we have the semifinals, third place playoff, and final of the CONCACAF Nations League. March 2024 is also the start of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying for 2026 campaign. In March 2024, we will have round one. We will have round one of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers in March 2024. In March 2024, we're going to have the 4 lowest ranked teams in CONCACAF, teams seeded 29th, 30th, 31st, and 32nd, facing each other. Of course, the top 2 teams advance. What FIFA ranking will be used to determine the seedings for the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers? The November 2023 FIFA rankings. We're in April right now. Look again at the FIFA windows. After the Gold Cup, we have September and October. So the October window and perhaps even a November window would be the last sort of opportunity to continue make more progress in the FIFA rankings. And by the end of November, we'll have the November FIFA rankings. And after that point, we will have the draw itself. Okay? So at that point, we will have that draw. November, we have the seedings, and we'll proceed forward from there. And when we talk about World Cup qualifying, we're going to talk about something that is similar. And I'll explain why the Nations League will prepare Jamaica for the World Cup now. In the Nations League, it's a group of 6 teams. Jamaica plays 4 matches. All right? In the second round of World Cup qualifying, where Jamaica are highly likely to make their entrance in World Cup qualifying, Jamaica will play single round robin matches. You understand what I'm saying there? Jamaica will play single round robin matches, 2 home and 2 away. So the other 4 teams that line Jamaica's group, Jamaica will not play them both home and away. Jamaica will only play them, that particular team home or that particular team away. So that is what the second round is going to do in terms of the preparation aspect of things. And again, no margin for error. Win your 4 games, you're through to the third round, which of course would be the final round of qualifying itself. All right. So hopefully that answers that thing. In the third round itself, we're talking about something where you have 3 groups, 4 teams in each group. Top team from each group qualifies for the World Cup, and the 2 best second place teams head to the Intercontinental playoffs. So that is the situation that we have right there. In a sense, you could say Jamaica has 10 matches. 4 matches in the second round, 6 matches in the third round. 4 plus 6 is 10. Very good, my bright mathematicians. Jamaica are 9/10 wins away from qualifying for the World Cup. 10 wins away from qualifying for the World Cup. 10. How does that sound? Shamar Gordon says, up, Mr. Preston. Hey, how are you doing? Damon McGregor says, good evening, everyone. Good evening. If you guys haven't already, I implore you, I encourage you, please go ahead and hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well to Reggae Boys commentary as well. Okay, guys? I'm very happy for you guys to be able to tune in this evening. Truly grateful for you guys to be tuning in into this platform in particular. And looking forward eagerly to seeing and hearing what you guys will have to say. And I can't wait. I think it's going to be a very exciting period of time when you're bearing in mind what lies ahead for Jamaican football. Let's start with the women again. This summer is the World Cup, and then you have the Olympic qualifiers, and then, of course, you have the Pan American Games. And sandwich in between that, early next year, the Gold Cup, Women's Gold Cup, and then the Olympics. Let's talk about the men now, senior men specifically. Gold Cup in the summer, Nations League, World Cup qualifying, Copa America, World Cup qualifying, Gold Cup, World Cup qualifying 2026 World Cup. So you guys see the excitement that lies ahead? Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. So let me reiterate this for you guys. 2023 Gold Cup, 2023, 2024 CONCACAF Nations League, 2024 Copa America, 2024, 2025 Nations League, and 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, 2025 Gold Cup, and 2026 FIFA World Cup. Do you guys see everything that is transpiring? And again, let me reiterate this. Gold Cup this summer, the United States. Copa America next summer, the United States. Gold Cup 2025, the United States. World Cup 2026, USA, Canada, Mexico. Olympic Games 2028, USA, Canada, Mexico. The year before that, Gold Cup 2027 in the United States. So 2023, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. To be frank with you, for the next 7 years, that's football tournaments in the United States. For the next 7 years. And this summer, we're going to get a little different taste. For the first time in Gold Cup history, Jamaica will play matches at Soldier Field in Chicago. Jamaica has played there before, but not in the Gold Cup. Jamaica will also have matches as well at City Park in St. Louis, Missouri. We're going to play at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Jamaica's familiar with that stadium. Cincinnati, Ohio. Jamaicans are in that area quite well. San Diego, we're familiar with San Diego quite well. And the final itself in Inglewood, California. You know? What are you talking about? Manchester United? Oh, Manchester United versus Aston Villa will be a fantastic game this weekend. I'm telling you. Man United versus Aston Villa? Yeah, that will be a treat for sure. How does the female team qualify for the Gold Cup? Okay. So in order to automatically qualify for the Gold Cup, it's a double spin-off. One, by defeating Canada in the Olympic qualifiers, home and away, it's the best aggregate score, qualifies not only for the Olympics, but for the CONCACAF W Gold Cup. The second bite of the cherry is through the CONCACAF W World Cup qualification. Jamaica will be in a group with 3 teams, play them home and away, that's 4 matches. Top team qualifies for the Gold Cup, second place team heads to the playoffs itself. Agility says, bless Simon, hope you and the family are good. I am doing well, thank you. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Yeah. You know, that's why Sunday's game is going to be so exciting. I expect if Leon is not back, then Leon should be back for the West Midlands derby. That's my anticipation. But it's always great. I think the Aston Villa Manchester United games have always been exciting affairs. And it's a game that I've always looked forward to with eager breath, you know. This is, for me, an important game. And it's for both teams when you bear in mind where Aston Villa are on the table, despite playing sometimes 1 or 2 or 3 more games than other teams around them. Like, Brighton has a lot of games to catch up on, you know. Brighton has a lot of games still to play. But at the end of the day, it's fine. We'll see how it goes. What would you guys rather, points on the board or games in hand? For me, the points are set in stone. Unless there are penalties, the points are set in stone. Lee, how are you doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Anybody in the chat from Chicago, raise your hand. Anybody in the chat from Missouri, raise your hand. Anybody in the chat from California, raise your hand. Anybody in the chat from anywhere in the United States, raise your hand. Anyone in the chat from Canada, raise your hand. Anyone in the chat from Jamaica, raise your hand. Anyone in the chat from the UK, raise your hand. Anyone in the chat from the Cayman Islands, raise your hand. Anybody in the chat from Grenada, raise your hand. Anybody in the chat from St. Kitts and Nevis, raise your hand. Anybody in the chat from Barbados, raise your hand. Anybody in the chat from Trinidad and Tobago, raise your hand. Anybody in the chat from Greenland, raise your hand. So yes. So over the past half an hour, I hope I gave you guys the information that basically helps you guys understand things a little bit better in relation to what lies ahead post the Gold Cup, because post the Gold Cup, there's an exciting period of time, an exciting set of events that lie ahead. and I feel that this is a time frame that should be understood. Lee says New York in the building. Okay, all right, Lee. But Lee, you want to know something interesting? When you look at the distance from New York to Chicago, that's a 12-hour drive, my friend. That's a 12-hour drive. So if you wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and you drive to Chicago, you can make the game. It's a weekend game. You understand me? So Lee, if you leave New York 5 o'clock in the morning, you arrive in Chicago 5 p.m. and boom, you catch the game. How does that sound, Lee? Make sense? Make sense? Or if you take a flight, roughly like an hour, 2 hours, I would say, 2 hours and 15 by flight. So that's an option right there. You see what I'm saying? That's an option to consider. A serious option to consider, very much so. And it shouldn't be brushed aside. I am from Jamaica, but I'm in Montreal, Canada. Ah, Montréal, Canada. Oui, je parle français très bien. Et aussi, je parle l'espagnol et anglais. J'adore le Canada. Pour moi, le Canada, c'est le pays très bel dans le monde. Pour moi, Canada, c'est un pays... pour moi, français, c'est très facile pour parler. Très facile pour parler. Plus facile pour parler que l'espagnol et les autres langues dans le monde. Et par exemple, le patois aussi. Oui, c'est difficile pour parler les langues, le patois. Pour moi, le français, c'est plus facile. Shamar says, wave. Jamaican Youth Travel says, planning on going to the game in Chicago, the most epic game of the round. Miguel Williams says, Alaska. You're in Alaska, really? Where in Alaska are you? Anchorage? Jamo, where are you in Alaska? That's interesting. Theresa says, Florida present. Okay. All right. Florida in the house. There will be some games in Fort Lauderdale, as you guys are aware. Nicaragua has a game there, and also the preliminaries for the Gold Cup will also take place within Fort Lauderdale as well. Formerly, it was known as Lockhart Stadium. So now you guys are aware in relation to this stadium in particular. So just to give a perspective of things, the DRB PNK Stadium, pronounced Drive Pink Stadium, and it's based in Fort Lauderdale. It's built on the site of the former Lockhart Stadium. And I know we have a lot of people in the chat that live in the Fort Lauderdale region, Pembroke Pines, that people live in Plantation, Sunrise. Persons that live in Sunrise, it's a 17-minute drive. Pembroke Pines, half an hour drive. Tamarack, 15-minute drive. Sunrise, I said 17 minutes. Oakland Park, 20 minutes. If you are in Miramar, that's roughly 22 minutes. So it's not far, especially for those that are in Florida itself. So you guys can look at things. I'm flying to the game. Where are you flying from, Freedom Vlog? Which country, city? Sounds like you will get in a spirit. In a spirit. Why is it called a Pink Stadium? That's a good question. It's a good question because it's something that I've thought about quite often as well. It's it's quite a deep one, and it stems with the colors of the team of Inter Miami. So that's one of the reasons why it is called that way. So it basically renamed. Fort Lauderdale Strikers moved out of Lockhart in 2016, and then Inter Miami came in, and basically how things sort of transpired is that, listen, ERV PNK Stadium, we're going to go with that. And that's exactly what we've gone with, That's what we've gone with. And the owners, as you know, David Beckham, Jorge Mas, and also Jose Mas as well. Phil Neville is the head coach of this team. And that's the situation there. Yard B says, good evening, Simon P. Bronx here. Bronx in the house. Bronx, 13-hour drive to Chicago. You wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, you drive out 5 a.m. You probably have a pit stop for breakfast or for lunch. You get into Chicago 6:30. Boom, you catch the game done 9 o'clock. You probably stay at a hotel that night in Chicago. Sunday morning, you drive out early and bam, you're back into the Bronx in Sunday evening. Sound like a plan? Sound like a plan. Good. Everybody aware. I already know Florida says Shamar Gordon. Okay, cool. Mr. United in the house. Okay. In California, is it LA? Is it San Diego? Is it Sacramento? Is it San Jose? Is it Inglewood? Is it Oakland? Is it San Francisco? Where in California? Where in California? Where specifically? Where specifically? Yeah, you know, he doesn't have a club. That's the reality of things, O'Neill Bromfield. He needs a club. Yard B said rather fly. Okay, on a plane it's 2 hours and 15 minutes, so that's not bad. In the same country, you know. All right, big up Agility. It's AutoNation who sponsored it, and AutoNation is a big sponsored cancer, so we as technicians get drive pick shirts too. Okay, interesting. Nice, nice, nice. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. All right. I appreciate that, Agility. Much appreciated. Cool, cool, cool. Mr. United, Sacramento. Okay. Well, Sacramento to Santa Clara, with Jamaica's third game of the tournament. That's a 2 hour drive, 2 hours and like 5 minutes, roughly, thereabouts, from Santa Clara, from Sacramento to Santa Clara, right? So it's not that far of a journey, you know what I'm saying? So, and for the semifinals, all being well, Jamaica gets there and we're in San Diego. We're talking about a 7 hour drive. A 7 hour drive. And of course, the final itself is in Inglewood, California. And when you think about Inglewood, California, it's a shorter distance. It's a 6 hour drive. You see what I'm saying? So I know you can do it. I know flying time, we're talking about an hour and change. But it's something that we should consider, you know? Miguel, I know a lot of people, especially in Florida, are very disappointed that we don't have specific games in Florida in particular. Florida has been quite a hub for Jamaica, and I'll explain in another video in terms of, you know, the certain games and the venues and so on, how that sort of journey has gone. But yeah, but you know, it's an opportunity as well for the Jamaican community in Chicago to come out in numbers. It's an opportunity as well for the Jamaican community in California to come out in their numbers, in Cincinnati, Ohio as well, and also the few hundred Jamaicans that live in the state of Missouri to get to St. Louis to make sure that they cheer on the boys. I'm encouraging and imploring all Jamaicans, East Coast USA, all Jamaicans, East Coast USA, Tennessee Lewis, all Jamaicans, East Coast USA, Adam McGregor, Tennessee Lewis, Gillotee, DJ Veneto, all Jamaicans, East Coast United States. I'm imploring you, I'm encouraging you, find your way to Chicago. If you have to drive, you drive. Find your way to Chicago. Find your way to St. Louis. And find your way to Santa Clara. All Jamaicans, East Coast. Even for the Jamaicans in Toronto. Cross the border. You'll end up in New York. And from New York to Chicago. Boom. Simple. Am I right? So yeah. Yeah, B, that's a very good question. So in terms of the draw for the final round of the women's under 20 qualifiers, CONCACAF has not revealed that information just yet. But once that is available, we'll certainly let you guys know. All right, Mr. United. So basically, to make a long story short in terms of what this video is in particular, the draw for the CONCACAF W, which is Women's Gold Cup qualifiers, that is May 17. The draw for the CONCACAF Nations League is May 16. And I touched on why the CONCACAF Nations League is so important in terms of preparation for the World Cup qualifiers itself. All right? So Yeah. Yeah. So I'll say there. For someone living in Jamaica, your geography is good, man. Roughly 12 hours drive, east coast to mid coast. Thanks, Real Baller. Yeah, I've I've been privileged to go to 32 countries. I've also visited roughly 10 states in the US, Florida, Georgia. I've been to New York, New Jersey. I've been to Virginia. I've been to Maryland. I've been to Texas. I've been to California. That's 8. I've been to Hawaii. That's 9 states. I've also, that's 9 states. 9 states that I've been to. I've been to Canada. I've also had the privilege to go to Dominican Republic, Turks and Caicos Islands, Trinidad, Grenada, Barbados, Antigua, Dominica, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Guyana, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, England, Scotland, Wales, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, United Arab Emirates. Yeah, it's been quite a list. Adamari Greg. Who is that? What do you think about Lowe being benched at Philly, by the way? Yeah, the Champions League game last night was lit, wasn't it? So gutted that Philly, weren't able to hold on. But, the second leg's still something to fight for. And personally, I think it wouldn't surprise me if that second leg went down to penalties. But we'll have to back Philly. There's a second leg to be played, and this game has to be the best game of their season to get into the final. Look, we'll have to look at it now. 3 wins away from qualifying for the FIFA Club World Cup. 3 wins away from qualifying for the FIFA Club World Cup, and that has to be the message, and that has to be the mantra itself, So that's something that we should be bearing in mind with things, So, yeah. Yeah, man, no problem. So, Mr. United is in California. Tennessee Lewis is in New Jersey. So, yeah, West Side and East Coast. East Coast and West Side. Very nice. Ability says looking up tickets tonight. Okay. Very nice. So, again, I'm encouraging everyone in the East Coast, everyone, Gilla T, DJ Veneto, Adam McGregor, Warren Webster, Tennessee Lewis, everybody in the East Coast of the United States. I'm asking you to find your way to Chicago. Let's paint the stadium yellow. And I know many people have been asking which section where the Jamaicans sit. My understanding is 310, 311 is where the Jamaicans will be sitting. PM says, I wish Coreyburg stayed at Philly. Since his departure, he hasn't been the same. I'm just hoping that he hits the ground running soon with the New York Red Bulls in terms of being able to have the performances and replicate the performances that we saw. I think at Philly, he was great. For me, at Philadelphia Union, scored goals, averaged a goal every 3 games. Now in New York, it's early days still. He's played only 6 games this season. And grateful that he even got the chance to play overseas as well in the Austrian Bundesliga. So, looking forward to it. Me personally, this season, no. For me, BM, I want him to win the CONCACAF Champions League. I want him to win the Gold Cup. I want him to win the MLS Cup at the end of the season. After the FIFA Club World Cup, he can make the decision if he wants to go to Europe or spend one more season at Philly. For me, not this year, not this calendar year. Get to the FIFA Club World Cup, win the Gold Cup, win the MLS Cup. How does that sound? Hey, Simon, you're talking about the girls. I did speak about them earlier, speaking about the draw. The official draw for the CONCACAF W World Cup qualifiers will be CONCACAF W Gold Cup, CONCACAF Gold Cup will be on May 17 itself. All right? That's May 17. Yeah. So that is something that you guys should be aware about, okay? For you guys to be aware about, you know? So how does that sound to you guys? That sounds good? All right. Well, yeah. And she says, yes, Simon, I'll be going to the game in Chicago. I can't forget the final in Philly. Lots of Mexican, but it was a good even though. Oh, 2015, just to be in a Gold Cup final, you know, there's a lot of positives that we can take from that. Tremendous, tremendous positives that we can take from that game, you know? That was quite an affair. A special, special affair. It doesn't concern me, BM, and I'll explain why. The Gold Cup, Jamaica is going to play 6 games, 3 in the group stages, a quarterfinal, a semi-final, and a final. The time span between each game is not a lot. We're talking about 2-3 days between games. I want Damon Lowe as rested as he possibly could. So if he gets a half an hour here and there for Philly, that's completely fine for me because I know in the Gold Cup, he's going to play 90, 90, 90, 90, maybe 65, maybe 45. I think it's important, yes, to get minutes for your club, but at this point in time, it doesn't concern me because come the Gold Cup, he's going to be playing bang, 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 bang. And I want those legs fresh for the Gold Cup. So that's how I feel. No. What are you talking about postponing? No. That tournament will take place in DR, my friend. That tournament will take place in DR. All right? That tournament will take place in, that's right, DR. Right, and for those Jamaicans that are in New York, New Jersey, when the quarterfinal is in Cincinnati, Ohio, do you guys know the distance? In New York, New Jersey, and Cincinnati? Well, flying time, we're talking roughly 2 hours. Driving time, 10 hours. All right? 10 hours. So again, I'm going to call out all Jamaicans living in North America. Let us start with the East Coast. Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia. You follow me? Delaware, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. Yep, Jamaicans are in Boston, Massachusetts. Jamaicans are in Boston, Massachusetts. New Hampshire. I know Jamaicans are there. Jamaicans are in Vermont. Jamaicans are even in Maine. Yes, Jamaicans are in Maine. Jamaicans in Ottawa, Toronto, Quebec, Montreal City, Montreal, London, Ontario, Hamilton, Ontario, Peterborough. Jamaicans in Michigan. I encourage you all. I encourage you all. Please give the boys all the support. all the support needed. Okay? Please do. It's important. Waterloo, of course. How could we forget them? Let's see the comments. For me, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, at the end of the day, whatever Coach Helgrimson says, I'm going to work with it. All right? How does that sound? Yeah, Jamaicans are in Waterloo. Right, Mr. Galaxy? Lobels Network, how are you doing, sir? I hope you're doing well. I've been trying to contact you. Are you on Instagram? I'm kindly asking you, Lobels Network, to contact on Instagram. You can message Simon.Preston on Instagram, or you can also message the account Reggae Boys Commentary on Instagram. Do private message on Instagram. Appreciate your support, but go ahead and private message me. Would appreciate that. All right, Lobels Network. Yeah, I would richly appreciate that and have a discussion with you on things. All right. So I want you guys to be aware of that. Good. So hopefully you guys understand that and you guys get that. Real the ball up. Don't worry about a thing. Everything will be all right. Going back to work and all this. Okay, Mr. Brownfield, bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. BM says, what are your views on MLS in terms of quality and opportunities for growth? Some Jamaicans still believe MLS? No, MLS is a good quality league. Okay, Lavelle, much appreciated, thanks. BM, MLS is a top quality league. It's not on the same ilk as the English Premier League for me, but the Major League Soccer is a top quality division. And for me, I have no problem with a Jamaican player getting an opportunity in Major League Soccer. For me, it's all about the minutes. First thing first, I know that he is an overseas player. Unless he has a green card for residency purposes, you'd count as an overseas player. So if it is a Jamaican player that is, selected through the MLS Super Draft, he most likely has a green card. So when he's on the team, he would not take up an international roster spot. You know what I'm saying? I just want the minutes. That's the priority for me. I want him to get the minutes if a player is in Major League Soccer. I know we spoke earlier about Damian Lowe, but that is a slightly different situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. Sounds good. He scored today, you saw him? Man, he scored a good goal today, didn't he? Everton need help. I'm genuinely concerned. I'm genuinely concerned about Everton. This is frightening. Really frightening. Everton are 19th in the table. They're 2 points from safety. There are 5 games to go, and this is concerning. Very much so. This is a crime. Everton Football Club being second from bottom, and less than 3 decades ago, they were second from top. Everton should be nowhere near the foot of the table. Everton should be nowhere near the foot of the table. Nowhere near the foot of the table. Simple. Simple as that. So, this thing properties for sale in Jamaica. When it comes to individual play and you say, oh, would you rather Richard King play in the championship or the MLS? My answer is not dependent on strictly the league. It will also be dependent on which player. So, for example, if you say to me, Simon, Amal Nag, MLS or Championship, I would say MLS. But if you say Simon Preston, but if you say, sorry, Richard King, MLS or Championship, I would say Championship. But if you say Simon Preston, Asha Hutchinson, MLS or Championship, I would tell him MLS. If it's a goalkeeper, absolutely MLS in terms of Championship. In terms of goalkeepers, I would say MLS. Goalkeepers, I would definitely say MLS because I know the system that they have in developing goalkeepers and ensuring the fundamentals are absolutely sharp. And you guys are going to see Jamali Waits continue to make strides. Know yourself. The situation is passport. You know what? Passport, 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 passport. Would love to see that, Mr. Galaxy. Honestly, would love to see that. Yes, it would be a sad day. I think Everton are too good to go down as well. Honestly, it should be Southampton, Forest, and Leeds going down. Yeah, you're right. If he does well in the USL, then yeah. And guess what, Mr. Galaxy? Everton are building a new stadium. That's right, they're building a new stadium, and you're gonna have a place where the cruise ships can dock by the waterfront on the River Mersey. A new stadium is coming. Yankee Graham injury. Okay, injury. Injury. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, my friend. All right, Reggae Boys fans, if you guys haven't already, please hit the like button. Hit the like button, no. All right? Hit the like button, no. All right? Hit the like button, no. Come on, guys. Hit the like button, no. Hit the like button, no. All right, guys? Thank you. Hit the like button right away. Let's get this to 100 likes right away. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Be safe. More information to come your way in relation to CONCACAF as they're making some upgrades in relations to opportunities. And as you guys know, Reggae Boys commentary, accuracy, reliability, credibility, positivity. Everything positive in relation to Jamaican football right here. Everything positive. Happiness. Okay? Yard Flex, everything good? Christopher McKenzie, up. All right, to make a long story short, the CONCACAF W Gold Cup, the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup qualifiers draw, that's set for May 17, and the CONCACAF Nations League men's draw, that will be May 16. So May 16 and May 17, those are the 2 dates that we have to bear in mind for things moving forward. All right, so hopefully that put things together. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button and subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. Okay, guys? Speak soon.
This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices. Infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing and nutritious. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267 904 3454.
Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now.
Hi, my name's Lee Williamson. Subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary.
Hi, my name is Joby McAnuff. Subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary.
I'm Javon Watson, and you're watching